Hi there and welcome. My name is Anna Grillo and today I'm going to be talking to you about emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT or tapping. And the reason why it's called tapping is because basically you tap on certain acupressure points whilst talking about things that stress you out. So as you can see, I'm just tapping on a few points on my body and I'll be taking you through them shortly in a bit more detail. So first of all, what I love about this technique is that it's quite easy to learn and to use. For me, I know for me personally, I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm a kinesiologist. A lot of my work is about helping people transform from overwhelm and stress to feeling more peaceful and calm. And obviously, I would do a lot of personal development work myself and have sessions for me. And while it works so well to help clear, your big issues, it was the time in between sessions that when I felt my stuff rising up, feeling my triggers in the moment, having the right tools can sometimes be a bit of a struggle. Like, how do we get through those moments? So when I heard about and learned about emotional freedom technique, it was like the biggest light bulb moment because it's so easy to use, so easy to teach as well. Once you know it, it's pretty easy. And I saw such change in myself when I use it and helping me clear my own stuff that I've got going on. And I love being able to support people to teach it to themselves so they feel a lot more empowered about moving through issues that they've got going for them. So basically, emotional freedom technique, there are a few different ways that you can use it. And if you're interested in the science behind it, I highly recommend a book called The Science of Tapping by Peter Stapleton, who has a PhD in psychology, and all of research is about emotional freedom technique and all the case studies and that are behind it. It's just phenomenal. So I highly recommend checking that out. But it's pretty simple in the way that we use it. The way we first start is by becoming really aware of what's going on for you in this moment. And we start with what's called a SUDS rating. So that stands for Significant Unit of Distress. So basically rate your stress out of 10. So the higher that it is, it just shows, I guess, obviously how much it's stressing you out, basically. And from that, the higher that it is also just helps determine how close to the issue that it is. Like, we've really deep dive into what's going on for you. Once you know that, we start off with what we term a setup point. So it's what we call the karate chop point. Imagine doing that. And so we're just using two fingers to tap on the point. This is the setup point is the only time we really tap on this. And basically what we're doing is saying 3 statements to set the scene of what's going on for you. And it's the way it goes is like, even though we notice what's coming up for us, I still insert a positive statement. So, as an example, even though I feel really overwhelmed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've got all these crazy thoughts going on in my head, I know everything's going to be okay. Even though I don't think I'll ever feel calm ever again, everything's going to be all right. So now that we've done that setup statement, what we're going to start doing is tapping through the cycle that I showed you before. So basically from the crown of your head, just to the top of your hairline on the midline. While we're doing this is where we start to what we call purge, really talk about what's going on for you. So all this overwhelm, inside corner of the eyebrow, feeling so stressed, outside of the eye, got so many thoughts going on in my head, just under the eye, I just don't know what to do. I'm just keeping talking about what's going on for you. So on top of the lip, all these things on my to-do list, under the lip, I just don't know where to start. On the collarbones, if you go to the top of the collarbone, just go in between the collarbone and the first rib, just happening on there. I'm feeling so stressed right now. And then if you just go underneath, so say from our armpit, just underneath, not too far, on the top of where the bra strap sort of would fit if you're a female. I feel like I'm disappointing people. And I would just keep cycling through that, really talking about what's going on for you. If I just spend time and focus on the kids right now, then all my other tasks are just going to fall behind. But if I focus on them, then my kids are going to miss out. I'm really feeling a struggle. I'm really feeling this disconnect and pain. All I really want right now is just some time for myself. Just some time to sit and feel peaceful, to have some rest. It just feels so overwhelming for me right now. I can feel it. My head feels stuffy, very cloudy and thinking. I can feel it in my chest. I'm noticing my heartbeat is racing really fast. I'm really struggling to catch my breath right now. All I just want is some peace and quiet right now. And it feels like I'm never going to get it. I'm struggling to make a decision because I feel like someone or something is just going to miss out. And that's what's really stressing me out right now. I just don't want to make a decision. It all feels too hard. So I hope you got a bit of an example of what that looks like. And for you, just continue to follow through those cycles, follow through on the points, and really just start talking about what it is that's going on for you. The more that you do, you start perhaps delving deeper into actually what's going on. We might be presenting with an issue or a symptom, but underneath is a core belief statement that actually really needs to sit there and get resolved. Sometimes even asking yourself, where else have I felt this in my life? Does it remind you of another time? Can be a really good way to continue to delve deeper and find the gold, so to speak, on what's actually the root cause of what's happening for you. And so how long do you do it for? Well, ideally, you would just stop and reflect and see, rate out of 10. What's your SUDS rating? Has that gone higher? Has that gone lower? Ideally, you want it to sit around a level 2 or below. If it hasn't sort of gone down to that level, that's okay. What it means is there's still stuff for you to go through. And so when you're in another time and space, create that time to continue working through on the topic that you're experiencing stress around. Or you might even need to start journaling it a little bit more to actually find, well, what's actually the root cause of what's going on? Is the overwhelm caused by the fact that, you know, we're not sure where to start first, where to prioritize, because really, if we make a decision, then someone else might feel left out, or is it because, you know, what we really need is deep rest, and we've got no time to just sit and be present and deal with that type of stuff. The amount of times doing it, there's no sort of set time limit. A lot of the studies do just show working on one side of the body. I also like going through and doing the other side as well and swapping that over. There sort of aren't really any rules, so to speak, it's particularly if you're just following along and doing it for yourself. If you do work with a practitioner, you may notice that there are different styles. There always many different things that you can add in. But for your stock standard, so to speak, emotional freedom technique points, this is what we use. What I also like to do is, once we've sort of done our purge and gotten rid of all the stressful emotions, is actually just start to call in something a bit more positive to finish it off and round it out. So I'll just start with, even though I notice these feelings of overwhelm, I know everything's going to be okay. I recognize this moment of change. I'm clearing any resistance that I have to making a change. Just clearing and tapping on any resistance for me, being able to focus, to be able to make a decision, to have peace and clarity, and to operate from a space of love. And then what I like to finish off is just on the wrists. I am peace. So I hope you enjoyed this little brief overview. As with anything, please continue to work with, if you are any healthcare or medical practitioners. This is for information purposes. So I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, please connect with me. You can find me over at TrueSelf, all the W's, .trueself.com.au, or connect with me with whatever social media platform that you're watching this on. Thank you. and have a great day. Bye.